What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
With the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just didn't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
They haven't been teaching us anything ever since they came out here.
Right.
Throughout this block, everywhere you go, when you see it making the black community, what you see? Churches and liquor stores.
That's right.
Churches and liquor stores. And nothing changed.
Right.
One thing you gotta ask yourself, how come all these churches never came together and helped build a community?
Right.
Well, for one thing though, they dig in your pockets.
Right.
That's one thing they do. They make sure they get in your pockets, but never tell you who you are, where you come from, and what is meant for you.
Right.
That's what he's trying to bring out to you. So now, sin. Sin, when you look around making, that's the number one thing, the reason why our people are going through the things they're going through.
That's right.
It's because of sin. Now, what is sin?
Obeying the Lord.
What?
Disrespecting your parents.
It's like disrespecting your parents, right? What? I want you to expound on it. What's sin? What's your name, man?
My name?
Yeah.
My name is Solo.
Solo?
Yeah.
You?
Nolan.
Nolan?
Yeah.
All right, Solo and Nolan. What's sin?
Breaking the Ten Commandments, right?
Breaking the Ten Commandments? Okay. So let's read it. You're not off. You're right. Breaking the Ten Commandments, but it's more than just 10 commandments, right? There's laws, statutes, commandments.
That's right.
Under those 10 laws, there are statutes. It's like branches, okay? Because you don't read about rape, right? In the 10 Commandments. But rape is under killing.
Right.
Thou shalt not kill.
Right.
That's the statute of killing. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense?
Seven deadly sins.
No, the 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments.
10 Commandments. All right, let's stay there. All right? So now, let's give you sin. Let's show you what sin is. You got it?
Yes, sir. Let's read.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4.
Bring it out.
Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
So here's the thing. Sin is the transgression of the law, meaning that when you break one of God's laws, statutes, commandments, you're sinning, right? You said that we must obey what he said. Now, if we don't obey what God said, and if we sin, what would happen? Be punished. Just like you got kids?
No.
Kids? They break your laws, they break your rules, what you gonna do? Punish them, right? Now, what is the punishment of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because we went against what he said? What's our punishment? Let's think about it.
Going on right now?
Let's bring it out. What you mean? What you think is a punishment on you for as a black community?
Like we're going to jail, killing each other. Like that.
Okay, killing each other. What else? Can't think of nothing? Give me Deuteronomy 28. Let's show you something. All right? Matter of fact, go to Daniel 9, 11, and then we're going to show y'all who y'all are according to the Bible. You're right. There's more to that, though. God says, I'm going to put you through pain, suffering, punishment for what y'all done.
That's right.
As a nation, not just individually, but we all going to go through something, right?
Right.
Every one of y'all too. Y'all men, y'all are gods.
Right.
God chose y'all.
Right.
So with y'all being chosen of God, God said, I'm going to put you through a special punishment. I'm going to put y'all through a godly punishment.
That's right.
Something that nobody else can go through.
Teach.
Let's read.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel
Y'all too. Read.
have transgressed thy law.
We all have transgressed. We all have broken God's laws, statutes, commandments.
Right.
We have done it. That's why we all going through the same thing. Read.
Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice.
So, like you said, obeying your parents. We was not obeying what God said. We wasn't reading the Bible, understanding what we need to do.
Right.
We didn't know what to do. We just went to church and we did good. I believe in God and go on about my day, smoke a blunt, whatever the case may be.
Right.
We didn't know. Read.
Therefore, the curse.
The what?
The curse
Read.
is poured upon us.
Right.
Curse, punishment. Punishment, curse.
Right.
Read.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
So, it says here, Daniel says, because of our sin, the things that Moses said about us, what's going to happen to us, is upon us because we broke his laws. Right. Now, what I don't know is that in Deuteronomy 28, my man, it's more important, bruh.
I understand, yeah, go on.
It's more important. I'm going to show you something. Sis, I'm going to let you know who you are. Daniel said, because of what y'all done, the sin y'all did, y'all going through a curse. Right. Read.
Verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
Right. So, upon Israel, Jerusalem, no other nation went through what we went through.
That's right.
Right? So we're going to go back in time.
That's right. Teach.
No other nation went through what we went through. Right. Under the whole heaven.
Right.
But somehow we living, right?
Right.
Somehow we here.
Right.
Right? Now, could this right here affect a generation of people?
Get out.
It can? How so, Nolan?
Teach.
How can this affect generation, and generation?
Well, like when you look back at it, it make you not like them. Like I ain't gonna say white folk, but
Don't say it. Who did this to us? No, here's the thing. Not. Okay. How did this affect the black community? That's what I'm saying. How did this affect the black community?
I guess it broke her down a little bit.
Broke us down? How did this huh?
man, I'm more angry.
Okay, sis, mom, how did this affect the black community?
To my understanding, by slavery, when they were back there in slavery, they went through a lot of things where the white men went with the black women and raped them and everything. And
But how does it affect today? How does it affect
I looked at today, the generation, y'all young generation ain't gonna put up with that.
Okay.
And that's the reason why.
So you saying because of we knowing what we went through, we ain't gonna put up with it no more.
Y'all young folks ain't gonna put up with it.
Okay, so go to Deuteronomy 28. Let's put it all together then.
Bring it out.
So now, remember, Daniel says, y'all went through something that nobody else has gone through. And because of your sins, y'all going through the curses that's written in Deuteronomy.
Right.
So let's read Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
These what?
curses, shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So we went back to Moses' time, a black man. You believe that? Moses was a black man?
Jesus was a black man.
Okay, Moses was a black man? Moses was a black man?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, we'll bring it out. We'll bring it out in a minute.
Yeah.
So now, Moses, a black man, all right, talked to the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. A long time ago, it said, if you do not keep God's laws, statutes, commandments, if you do not obey him, you're going to go through curses.
Right.
You're going to go through things. Because y'all are his people.
That's
You
right.
are chosen unto him.
Right.
So, guess what we did, though? We broke his commandments, right?
Right.
Let's read verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Nolan, the first curse, he said, thou shalt be cursed in a city,
Right.
and thou shalt be cursed in a field.
Right.
How are we cursed in the city today?
Yeah.
You said it earlier.
Black on black crime.
Black on black crime. Hating one another.
Right.
Committing adultery with one another.
Right.
Right? Hating, stealing from one another.
Right.
In this black community right here, all you see these rundowns down a few food marts and gas stations.
Right.
These houses
Right.
look like they're empty. These trap houses out here.
Right.
Selling drugs to one another.
Right.
That's a curse in the city, bro.
Right.
Amongst the black community, y'all the ones that doing that to each other the most.
Bring it
Y'all
out.
the ones that hurting each other.
Right.
While everybody outside looking at y'all like, damn, these people going crazy out here.
Teach.
They looking at y'all like, damn, these people really hate each other.
Right.
The music amongst us.
Bring it out.
Don't we defile our sisters
Right.
in our music?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
No, do we defile our sisters in the music?
In the music,
In the music.
yes.
You know what I mean when I say defile?
Like how we disrespect
Disrespect. How we disrespect. Name me another genre of music that does that.
Females do it too.
No, another genre. Yeah, the black females do it too.
How we say N-word.
N-words to each other? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But no other music. Country doesn't do it.
Right.
No, blues doesn't do it to each other.
Right.
All these other nations, when they have their own music, they don't do that. But amongst us, though, we have some type of hatred towards one another. Well, we think that it's cool. It's our culture. We do this thing to each other.
Right.
Now, bring it back to this. How does slavery affect us to this day? From the psychiatry of it, our people going through slavery, going through things that we went through, we turn against one another.
Right.
While we look up to this image right here as the Savior.
Right.
See, we won't go to Zebulon Road to do that.
Right.
We won't go to wherever the white people are. We won't do that to them because why? We think that they're holy. We think that they're Jesus. We think that they're the ones that are going to help us get to salvation.
Right.
Which is, this right here is a false image, Mama.
That's right.
Mama, you know this is a false image, right?
Bring it out.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. So Moses, we got to go over Moses and we got to go over Christ.
That's right.
We got to go over Moses and we got to go over Christ. That's a false image. Here's the thing. My grandma, she got this image posted in her house.
Bring it out.
She served a white God.
Bring it out.
He don't look like me.
Right.
I don't. If I think he's Christ, how can I see myself in this Bible?
Right.
He's not cursed in the city.
Right.
He's not cursed in the city. So let's get it. Revelation 1.
That's right. Bring it out.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 1.
Bring it out.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Mama, you got a Bible at the house? The Bible describes what Christ looked like. It
That's
says
right.
the revelation of Jesus Christ. Bro, let me show you what Christ looked like there before you go. All right, let's read.
Which God gave unto him to show
Verse
unto
14.
his servants. Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So it's describing Christ. The hairs on his head was white in color and woolly in texture.
Right.
You heard that before, right? What's woolly texture here?
Bring it out. Teach.
Like us, right? Look at your dreads. That's wool. That's wool. Read.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes were a flame of fire, meaning what? The white around his eyes was red. Read.
Bring it out.
And his feet.
His what?
His feet.
So we're looking at Mama's feet right now. Her feet is the same color as the rest of her body, right?
right.
So now we're looking at Christ's feet. John looking at Christ's feet right now because he was with them. Read.
Like unto fine brass.
Right.
What's solar? What's fine brass?
Like brown, right?
Like brown, right? That ain't too hard to think about, right? So his feet is brown. You're looking at Christ's feet. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Mama. But not only is it just brown, it say it look like it been burned in the furnace.
Bring it out.
What does that mean? When you say something is burned in the furnace, them brown feet look like they burned.
Uh-huh.
What color is that?
Like it's brass or something.
No, when you burn something though, when you burn
Black.
something. Black. That man was black. He was dark skinned.
That's right.
He was darker than Solo.
That's right.
That's how dark he was. Read.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
His voice is the sound of many waters. What does that mean?
What's some sound of many waters?
Think about it. Many waters.
It's live.
It's what?
It's live and it raw when he
If
speaks.
you stand next to a waterfall, can you hear yourself talk? A large waterfall? It's loud. You can't hear yourself. He spoke boldly. He wasn't no mealy mouth. Hey, people, y'all come together.
Right.
Y'all come
Bring it
worship
out.
God.
Bring it out.
Y'all come get this sermon together. No, this is a false image. Over here. This image right here. You see this image? This is the true image of Christ.
That's right.
This is the true image of Christ. Through
Right.
slavery, they gave us that image.
Right,
But
right.
this whole time, before we came to America, we was worshiping the true image. Not the image, but we were worshiping the true God.
That's right.
All right? Not no white man.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying, though, right? You see it right here. You read it for yourself. Revelation 1:14. Teach this to your people. Our people are worshiping other nations. Our people are worshiping people that don't look nothing like them.
Right. Yeah.
We got all these crosses and images. Our rappers got the image of that man on their necks, thinking that he's their savior. No, it's not. Christ is a so-called black man. You be a so-called black man today.
That's right.
If you see him walking around, like, that's a black man. The Most High, his father, a black man.
That's right.
Let's get Moses. Let's get Moses. Go to Exodus 4. No, Mama, before you go, Mama. Mama, before you go, we got to know what Moses looked like. We got to know what Moses looked like. And we got to get up out our sins, brother. Get up out our sins. Before you go, let's get it. Before you go, read.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom.
So y'all remember the history of Moses seeing the burning bush? You remember that? All right, but it was God talking to him, right? All right, so now read it again.
And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom.
So now he instructed Moses to take his hand and put into his bosom, right? Because somewhat Moses was having some type of disbelief or what was going on. So God said, I'm going to show you a miracle. So he put his hand inside his shirt. Read.
And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
What does that mean? When he took his hand out, it was leprous as snow. What does that mean? It was white. Right? Okay, read.
And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
So when he put his hand back in, it came out. It was back to his regular flesh. What color was that?
Bring it out.
If it was white when he first did it, it was something strange. It was weird. Like, what happened? My hand is white. Probably. You think?
Yeah, probably.
What other color would it be? Red? Mama, Moses was a black man. He was living where? Where was he living at?
In the wilderness.
Huh?
In the wilderness.
No. Before that, before he went to the wilderness, he was high in command in what country? You don't know that he was high in command in Egypt. Go to Exodus, was it 2? Let's show you something. Man, what color is Moses? What color was Moses?
Nobody, well, I don't really know black, I guess.
Mama, don't walk away like that. Here's the thing, before you go, read that.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 19. And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds.
They called Moses an Egyptian. The true Egyptians, what color were they? They were what? But they called Moses an Egyptian, right? That shows that Moses was the black man. So that's one thing our people need to know, our sisters need to know, that we should not worship no white man. We shouldn't put their hair, their color in our hair. We should know who we are. We're our own natural hair. That's why we got to realize. That's why we got to wake up. How y'all doing, sisters? What y'all talking about, Beer? What y'all talking about?
Hey, I asked her why she wasn't married right now, and why she left the church. She said because the pastor was dirty, trying to holler at her.
Word. Really? You experienced that? Okay. Now, with that being said, so are you with someone right now or no? You with someone right now, right? Okay. Now, this preacher, is he in Macon?
Oh, you talking about at a church? Do I have a church home?
No. The man that tried to holler at you, the pastor.
Oh, no.
It wasn't in Macon? Okay. All right. But does that how much does that deter your trust into churches? How much does that affect your trust in them?
A lot.
A lot, right?
It wasn't just one pastor.
It was a lot of pastors. Yeah. Okay. Now here's the thing. Give me that in Isaiah. Our leaders. What's that up here? About our leaders. So here's the thing.
Micah 3:11. Real quick. Go ahead.
Hey sis, so check this out, right? So in the churches, right? You said the pastor tried to holler at you, and you're not the only one, because we see so many different reports that be coming out, news articles and so on and so forth, right? Now I got a question. What do you think women could do to try to deter that attention?
What can we do?
Yes. As a woman, to deter that. Like, what do you think the pastor was seeing that was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna make a move on this sister.
He ain't seen nothing but a pretty face.
All right, watch this. Sirach 19:29 real quick. Watch this. Watch this. Because when you go to the Christian church, look, we out here, we in the streets. We meet a lot of people that come out of churches on Sunday. And the way that they be dressing, we be like, damn, that's what the pastor allowing there? Right? But the pastor like those things. He likes seeing that stuff in there. Because he be after his own lust. Watch this. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 29. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance.
So a man or a woman may be known by how they look, right? And if they have understanding based on how they carry themselves, right? Read.
When thou meetest him, a man's attire,
so a man or woman's attire, read,
and excessive laughter and gait show what he is.
So now you can judge a person or how a person character is based off when you first see him. Right? You know how they say first appearances is everything? Right? So your appearance tells a lot about how you think or how you move, right? Watch this. Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 10. Watch this, sis. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 7 verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman.
A who?
A woman. With the attire.
With the attire
of an harlot.
So there's a way that a woman can dress. That's what attire is, it's clothing. There's a way that a woman could dress or present herself. That sounds like what? Read that again.
Behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
So a woman could portray themselves to be, a harlot is a hoe. A woman could dress or portray herself to be a hoe. You understand? So that means that we have to now take into account, pay attention, my sister. Look, check this out. We now have to take this into account on how we represent ourselves, how we present ourselves.
That's right.
You understand? The way that we dress, our speech, the things we listen to, the way we carry ourselves, the crowd we be around, the people we be around, right? Watch this. The Lord is giving wisdom. He's showing, he said, listen, a woman, yo, she got on the attire of a harlot. Let's go deeper. Keep reading.
And subtle of hurt.
So we know now that this woman, she portray and dress like a harlot. We got to watch for her now because she's subtle. She's sneaky, right? Read.
She is low.
She's what?
Low.
She don't know how to be quiet. It's arguments all throughout the house because the man told her to do, her man told her to do one thing. She don't want to do it. Now it's a problem. Always arguments all over the place. So the Lord is telling us, this harlot, this woman that dressed like this, stay away from this woman. Why? Because she's loud, read,
and stubborn.
And she's stubborn. She don't want to listen to nothing. Somebody tell you something for your good, you're like, man, yeah, I hear you, but this is what I want to do anyway. These women are stubborn, read.
Her feet abide not in her house.
She all over the place. She hitting the club. She hitting the bar. She going to ladies' night. You understand? Read.
Now is she without. Now in the streets.
1 Timothy 2 and 9. So watch this. So now, there's a way, like I'm showing you, that women can present themselves. And what do you think men are going to do? What do you think men are going to do? You said they still going to be hoes? Right, because all bread is sweet to a homemonger. I'm going to show you that. Read that.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9.
Now, this is how you should present yourself. This is what the Lord is telling you, right? Watch this.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves.
So this is what God said. God said women should do what?
Adorn themselves in modest apparel.
So the Lord is saying you have to dress in modesty.
Right.
You understand? You got to put on things that's covering up your nakedness, sis. Right now you got on leggings, my sister. What do you think men in the store is going to do? You think they just going to walk right? No. You look like somebody that will holler at it. You know what, man? I see her. Man, let her come over here again. I'm gonna hey, come holler at me, woman. Yeah, hey. You understand? They going to try to run game on you. They going to try to get to you. That's why I asked you, hey, sis, are you married? No, but you got a boyfriend. You understand? And guess what? If things don't work out with that, you're going to have another boyfriend. And it's going to be another boyfriend. Because they're going to see you in the way that you present yourself, and they're going to continue to go down that path. You understand, sis? So now we got to go back to what God said.
That's right.
You understand? Marriage is an honorable thing. I'm going to show you that. Read.
with shamefacedness.
So the Lord said the women dressed in modest apparel and they're shamefaced, meaning they're not all up in the men's face. They're not. They're cautious on the things that they wear, on the way that they present themselves, and the crowds that they're in. They're cautious on those things. Right. They got shame amongst themselves, right? Read.
And sobriety.
And sober. They're not drinking or getting high, smoking, right? They're not in excess of wine or so on and so forth. Read.
Not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array,
Read.
but which becoming women professing godliness.
So it's not saying that you can't beautify yourself. That's right. But what it's saying is that should not be your only focus when you come into the body. You understand that, sister? Watch this. Hebrews 13:4. This is what's going to fix our communities. That's right. Because one of the biggest issues we have as a community is single-family households. That's one of the biggest issues we have. That's why the young men run around here effeminate. What I mean by that, they're effeminate and they're sensitive. Right. So now, a disagreement turns into murder. Right. You understand? Because the father, majority of the time, is not in the household. God teaches against that. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
Now, sister, you was married before, so you know this. So whatever happened in your relationship, I'm not sure. It could, I don't know if it was an abusive situation, was it just a disagreement, whatever pushed you to divorce. You divorced him or he divorced you? You divorced him. Was it like a physical altercation type deal? No? Just couldn't agree? Okay. Okay. So now, you gotta still come back to this. Read that again.
Marriage is honorable in all.
So God said marriage is honorable. Marriage is a respectful thing. You want your daughter, you want to see her married one day, right? That's right. That's your daughter? Right. You want to see her married one day. Sister, when you get older, I don't know how old you are right now. Were you in high school? How old are you? 16. Eventually, one day, you want to get married, right? To a man, right? Yes? You against marriage? I don't know. Now, let me show you something. You don't know. Let me help you out. I'm gonna help you make a choice. Keep reading.
And the bed undefiled.
It says marriage is honorable in all, and the bed is undefiled. Meaning, whatever you and your husband decide y'all want to do in the bedroom, y'all can do that as long as it goes by the laws of God, right? Watch this.
But whoremonger.
But a man that will run from woman to woman to woman to woman to woman, that's a whoremonger. And likewise, a woman that will go from man to man to man to man to man, that is a whore. The Lord said what?
But whoremongers and adulterers.
And guess what? Adulterers meaning those that will cheat on their spouses or feel like they don't have no obligation to the person that they're married to. Right. You understand? What happens?
God will judge.
God said he will judge you for that thing. Right. You know how? Deuteronomy 28:61. I'm going to show you how. Because now we go along doing whatever it is that we want to do, contrary to God, and think that we cool, like everything is all good. Right. You understand? Everything ain't all good. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 61. Also, every sickness.
So this is a judgment. God said, you know what? Because y'all want to be whores and whoremongers, I'm going to judge y'all. He said, how?
Also, every sickness and every plague.
So every sickness and every plague, read.
Which is not written in the book of this law.
That you can't find here written in this Bible. Read.
Them will the Lord bring upon thee.
The Lord said he will judge you with sicknesses and illnesses if you continue to break the laws of marriage. If you continue to defile your temple, sleeping with man to man, or man sleeping with woman to woman, or man on man and woman with woman. The Lord is going to deal with you. He's going to judge you for that thing. Herpes, syphilis, AIDS, all kind of diseases that you can attract. Y'all understand that?
Yeah. We gotta go though.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
What you mean what do?
What you going to do?
About what?
You believe in the Bible, right?
I believe in God.
You believe in God. You believe in the Bible. So the Lord said he will judge you if you continue in that sin. So what's the next step?
Don't see.
Which is, in your case, marriage, sister. No? Hey, give me Proverbs chapter 1 real quick. Proverbs chapter 1, start at verse 19. Listen to this as you walk off, sister. Watch this. Watch this. Proverbs 1:19.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 19. So are the ways of
verse 20.
Verse 20. Wisdom crieth without.
So here it is. We got wisdom of God coming out. Wisdom is going out right now into the communities. Read.
She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse.
Read.
And in the openings of the gates.
Read.
In the city she uttereth her words.
Read.
Saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
It's a simple thing to know that God will judge you for sinning, for going against the commandments, and you continue to do that anyway.
Right.
That is a simple thing.
Right.
We come out here every Sabbath to teach the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who they are according to the Bible, and we are casted behind us. Read.
Right. And the scorners delight in their scorning.
And we get so prideful that we'll just turn around and walk away from the Bible, from the solutions to the issues in the community. Instead of complaining about them, we stand up to do something about it. Read.
And fools hate knowledge.
And what?
Fools hate knowledge.
Only a fool will hate the solutions to an issue.
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.